it seemed like an embarrassing topic, but you know, I've had issues with my husband.
Tell me about it.
Trying to get him to goodness, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get him to have more, intimate, very intimate. Goodness, I'm just saying. I want him to have sex with me more often.
More sex. There you go. Okay. Yeah, let's just put it out on the table. That's the best way to do it. All right.
Yeah.
So how long you been married?
A few months. About 4 months. We got married in November.
Okay.
In the middle of November.
How long y'all been together?
Somewhat 4 years, 5 years. There's like a breakup in between, but we met in college, and then, we finished college, and then we had a long-distance relationship. And then after we finally got settled down, got a place and some cars and jobs, then, we got married.
Okay. So, is this new? Or has he always been sexually avoidant? Or did this just pop up after you got married? Or did y'all wait to have sex before you got married, and then all of a sudden, tell me about the trajectory here.
Well, it's always been our objective to wait until we were married. We did mess up a little bit at the beginning of our relationship. And then, we stopped and we were like, we want to wait. So about 3 years after, before we got married, we didn't do anything. Okay. And now we're married, and it's almost like...
You're ready to rock it on to the break of dawn, and it's not happening, huh?
Yeah.
So when you've talked to him, what does he say?
I mean, he says that, he would like to or whatever, and because he tells me I'm beautiful and stuff, all that, and he loves to do this and that, but then he doesn't.
Does he push you away?
Not like physically, like he'll hold me and touch me and stuff like that, but when it comes to actually doing it, it's rare. Like at first, when I first asked about, this call, we didn't really do it. Now, since then, it's been, a handful of times, but that's out of like 4 months or so. And I was like, is this normal? Or I didn't know.
Is he struggling with erections? Is he struggling with erectile dysfunction?
No.
Okay. So he's affectionate and loving just when it comes to the act. I mean, like without being, I don't want you to talk about anything you don't want to talk about, okay? But I'm trying to paint me a picture in my mind of he's affectionate, y'all are hugging, y'all are touching, you start kissing, and then you think, all right, it's on. And then what happens? He just get up and leave? Does he go outside? Does he get on the phone? Like, what does he do?
Well, he prefers, honestly, when we get to that point, he usually would say, well, I'm not in the mood. And he prefers to honestly hop on his game. Sometimes when we do it, he goes as far as, what he kind of wants to do. And he might touch me here or there. But other than that, is what he's feeling or what he wants. And then I'm done or I'm tired. And that's still the very few cases because he just...
so he gets off and then he just leaves you hanging and then he's off playing his video games.
Yeah. Yeah, if he does it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, it's not normal. And I don't put I'm really reluctant. In fact, I will never give somebody the data on what's normal, like how much sex should a couple be having each week, and like some people have it every day, some people have it twice a day, some people have it twice a month. What's important is that both people talk about it, and there is some give and there is some take, and there's all kind of support and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, it is what we both need, and more importantly, what do we both want. And what's concerning for me is I'm hoping that you've been really direct with him. Like y'all have been out on a date, y'all have been having dinner together, and you say, hey, we've got to talk about this. What's going on? And I'm trusting that you've had that. Have you been pretty direct with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at this point, yeah, because yeah.
Okay. So something else is going on, And it would be a fool's errand for me to try to just guess. I can put some things out there. He could have some pretty significant psychological hang-ups. He may have had abuse as a kid. He may have had he came from a household where sex was so shameful that just flipping that switch as a married man, it's just he can't do it. He may be one of the what I would call the sexless generation that just grew up with that light switch completely off and spent their whole life on video games, did not hold hands and didn't try to kiss girls in high school and college, which I think is healthy. And all of a sudden, there's been what I would call it, I don't want to overstate it, an impotence epidemic. 18 to 25-year-olds who can't get it up, but because they've, for lack of better terms, they've blown out the hedonic sensor in their mind, right? And so I don't know what his background is with pornography use, with OnlyFans, with I don't know, and it may be as far as he needs to get his testosterone checked, or he's struggling with attraction to you. He's gay. There's 1,000 different things that might be the case.
Okay.
But what's important is you. Keep going. Go ahead. So I threw a bunch of stuff out there. Tell me what you think.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned those things because he did go through foster care for a little bit when he was growing up, and I thought it was kind of ironic that you mentioned that because I honestly was sexually abused for a long time while I was growing up by my own father.
I'm sorry, hon. Hey, can I just stop you for a second? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it happens, unfortunately.
No. I know. But hold on. That's a big, gnarly deal, and I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks.
That's not supposed to happen.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had to find that out.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
I'm glad I found it out, though. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, it's fine.
It's not fine. Don't say that. It's not fine.
Yeah, but
here we are. Okay. All right. I don't want to derail us, but just want to always pause for a second when I hear that and just let somebody know I hear you and I see you and I'm sorry.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah.
So you're talking about him. You did he experience a real rough go at it too as a kid?
Somewhat. His parents did have to get a divorce, and then his father had to fight for custody because they were more willing to give him to his mother instead of his father. But his mother wasn't the best parent at the time, and he ended up going from home to home for a little second. And some of the people weren't the best, or even as a child, tried to force him to drink alcohol for, because they thought it was funny to see the reaction of a child drink alcohol. But he got out of that, thank God, and his father got him back full custody, and he raised him from that point. So that was good.
Well, here's what's important. You have a new marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And let's draw some real firm boundaries right now. And boundary number one is, I'm not going to use the word boundaries. Let's come up with some very firm game plans moving forward.
Okay.
For the rest of your marriage, I've been married, 23 years now, and I was with her 5 years before that, and we've had big ups and we've had big downs. Okay, that's just part of being married. We're on the roller coaster, but. The thing that we had to develop, my wife and I had to develop out of necessity, right, to make sure we could stay together, was when we get apart on an issue, that we have a way to come to the table and talk about it and be honest, and both of us love each other enough to go get the help we need if we need it. Okay? And so if he looks at you and says, I don't love you enough to stop playing video games. I don't love you enough to go talk to a counselor about the fact that I'm attracted to my wife. I love my wife, but I have no interest in pleasing her in the bedroom. None. He's got to go see somebody if he would rather look at pornography and by himself than be with his wife. Or he might find himself completely asexual. That's not that's an increasing trend. Not because people aren't innately sexual, but because there's so many distractions and so many other things just handing out free dopamine in our lives, especially in our childhoods, that come all the way up to adulthood. That just makes it hard. And it's really, I mean, I'm just speaking from experience. I can't imagine a more embarrassing thing than being a 25-year-old guy who finds himself not wanting to have sex with his wife, who kind of wants to, but he doesn't want to, and having to go talk to somebody. That's an embarrassing thing. But he needs to love you that much. You're worth that, and so is he.
Okay.
Okay? The bigger issue here, beneath the sex, is this will come up with kids, this will come up with home, this will come up with jobs, this will come up with one of y'all gets a promotion and you're going to have to move though, and do we move or not move, and all that stuff. Whenever you have a little girl, you're going to have like a GPS pin that sets off in the middle of your chest because you remember what it's like getting abused by the person who's supposed to love you most, right? You're going to find yourself hypervigilant. So everybody responds differently to life. And what's important with a marriage is two people who are not head over heels, are firmly committed in a compassionate way to saying, I want to love you the best that I can. Okay?
Right.
That's what we're shooting for here.
Mm-hmm.
And so the bigger issue is not that he's 25 and doesn't want to have sex with his wife. The bigger issue here is you've said, hey, I want you and I need you and I miss you. And he said, yeah, I'm in the middle of a Fortnite game.
Right.
That's what can't happen in a marriage.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's a good moment to flip on. Before this dance gets entrenched, y'all been married for a few months, man, flip on every light in that house and say, I'm putting down a boundary. I don't need you to do anything, but I'm going to say what I want and what I need. And I'm going to ask you, will you please come with me to see a marriage counselor? Will you please come with me? And by the way, I'm going to give y'all, I know being young and married is hard and finances are tough. I'm going to give you 3 free months with my friends at BetterHelp. You can do it online. You don't even have to get in the car and drive anywhere. Y'all can do it at home with a computer screen, and y'all can sit side by side and do couples counseling right like that, okay?
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you.
With a licensed therapist, okay?
Oh, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
And it's probably not going to be enough. Both of y'all are come from pretty traumatic backgrounds. At some point, y'all are going to need to talk to somebody, but I know it's expensive, and I know it's hard to find somebody right out of the gate, okay?
Yeah.
But he needs to be able to articulate, here is why I am not interested in pleasing my wife. Y'all got to put that out on the table. You're owed at least that much. And he needs to be honest with himself.
Right.
Okay? And both of you are going to have to deal with that trauma at some point.
Well, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Can I tell you something? You're not crazy?
Oh, no?
No, you're not crazy.
Oh, okay.
Wanting to be with your husband's not crazy.
Oh, that's good.
And wanting your husband to to please you back doesn't make you crazy. And wanting to be more important than video games doesn't make you crazy. And wanting to have wheels off, peel the wallpaper off sex as a newlywed doesn't make you crazy.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You're not nuts.
Oh, that's good.
Okay? You're a good wife.
Oh, okay.
And he's clearly struggling with something. So let's do this. Let's clear the table and say, we got to talk about something really important, and I need your full attention. No phones, no hiding, no video games, just you and me. And if we need to get out of the house, cool. And you got to say, it's going to be hard for me to hear, but I'm ready to hear it. And I won't throw a fit. And if I need to step away, I will. But I'm going to listen carefully. We've got to talk about our physical intimacy in this marriage. And beneath that, we've got to talk about we're married and I'm already second fiddle. And by the way, he's never seen or experienced a functional marriage. He's never even seen it. He doesn't have a picture of what this looks like. So y'all are going to have to be extra, extra clear with each other about here's how you can love me. Will you do it? Will you be a part of it? Thanks for the call, Benita. Best of luck to you. And hey, if he wants to call in, I'd love to talk to him. I'm not going to be mean. I just want to hear from him. So if he wants to call in, I'd love to hear what's going through his heart and mind and see if I can help you guys get on the same page.